Yep.
I don't actually know what happens if you say no.
Don't.
Yeah.
Well, there's only an okay button, so you don't have a choice to say no.
Okay, so we're just having a quick chat, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our second online inspiration evening. And we do these every fortnight now. So please watch out for the flyers with the QR code, or talk to your consultants and get some more information about how to join. My name's Lisa, and
my name's Lisa.
There you go. So easy. So it's the Lisa show. We've got a beautiful Moroccan theme tonight. So very quickly, for those who haven't met us, my name is Lisa. I am a consultant and a team leader, and I have been involved with the company for almost 15 years. Unbelievable. So, the role has taken me as far as New Zealand for a few years in the management role, and then back to where I am based in Dalyalup. So a little bit, and people can find out and ask questions about us at any time. So over to you, Lise.
Yes, and I have been with the company for 8 out of the last 10 years. I have been based in South Yundara near Mandurah, and now I'm in Bibra Lake.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so Moroccan theme, and we'll talk about some other tips and tricks as we go along. Anyone who's on, please feel free to ask, or and also anyone who is online that would like to stay after. We'll finish the recording and we're happy to have a chat. At the end, you might want to ask about purchasing or becoming a consultant or host rewards, anything like that we can have a chat about at the end. Okay, so we are doing a Moroccan chicken dish. We are also doing a Moroccan, it's just called a Moroccan bundt, which is a cake. And we're doing a version of a hummus and showing you how to make a tahini. So they're our dishes today. And we'll go through and talk to you a little bit more about them as we go along. I'm going to start because I'm doing the cooked dish. Just to note that when my Thermomix does a little dinkle in about 6 minutes, the cake, I'm cooking the cake because it takes a while, and we're using the sensor, and Lisa will show you how to set up the sensor, but I've got the cake cooking, so it's going to make a ding, and then I'll get the cake out and I'll be able to show you end product at the very end. So for me, I've set this up in my week so we can do meal planning, and this is all with Cookie Do, and we will do a Cookie Do session as one of these events where we'll spend a lot more time. We'll cook something and we'll just spend a lot more time on Cookie Do. So please just watch out for that one. So what I've done is I've put tonight's event in my week, and I've only put 2 of the dishes, and because they were the 2 that I'm cooking tonight. So I've got my Moroccan chicken tagine. It's a little blurry up there. Moroccan chicken tagine, and it's with pearl couscous, which, to be honest, I'd never heard of. And it's really light. It's like rice bubbles, actually. It feels like rice bubbles. So we're going to cook that. It's very quick to cook. Last night I did a creamy coconut chicken curry, and we cooked rice on top in the bundt, and that was amazing. Okay, so let's get going. So I need to go back to my recipe detail because I already had it on doing a couple of things. So I need to go back because I need to start again. So the recipe is on here. All the ingredients are here. It's just like having a cookbook next to me, all the ingredients and all the steps. So mine was jumped a little bit ahead because I was preparing and prepping the food. So by pushing this number 1 or whatever number it is that you want, you can actually jump to the recipe and get yourself going. So it asks for 5 sprigs of parsley and some coriander. So to be honest, I don't really ever know what a sprig is. So I just put a batch in because we like herbs anyway. And then it asks for the same of coriander. So I've got a bit of that. I think we need more coriander.
Yes.
If you like coriander. If you don't like coriander, just leave it out. That's the beauty of Thermomix. You can actually adjust things as you go. Right. So
can you check the screen?
Yep.
Showing?
Yep.
Other people's.
Yes. You can see the screen, Liz?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. We had a little malfunction camera. Okay. I'm just chopping that, which if you have it Thermomix. I'm not wearing my pods, so I can't talk over it, but there's not much chopping. So if you've got a Thermomix, you know how easy that is for everything. And look at the beautiful herbs. So they're chopped perfectly. And see how it spits it out? There's nothing in the bottom. That's how we get the beautiful evenness of the chopping. So I need to scrape that down. Oh, I think I have to take it out. Yep. So it wants me to put it in a bowl for later on. So scraping down, spatula, always scrape with the flat little bit. The spatula does work. It's designed by Germans for the Thermomix. It's just a matter of knowing how to use it. So we put it in nice and flat around each side as we go around. And then to bring things out, it's designed to fit in the blades. So we just come around like this, halfway, and then we reverse it and go the other way. And that way you get most of whatever it is you're trying to get out. And then we just scrape forwards. With the herbs, they stick a little bit, but that's okay. And we want to put the flavour in. So I don't need to wash the bowl or anything like that. So I've got a brown onion, approximately 120 grams, probably a bit less because had a little bit of an issue with the outside. No, that'll be perfect. Perfect. And some garlic. And that's obviously going to chop. You can hear that, if you can hear it.
No, can't hear it.
You can, when you're chopping, if it says 5 seconds or 10 seconds, you can actually hear when it's finished because it's all out to the side. So it's not doing anything. So you can just stop it. You don't have to stay for that whole time. Okay. Remember to tear when you take your lid off. 20 grams. And I'm just going to scrape it down.
Perfect.
I know. You get used to your stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, now in here, I've got the herbs that we need. So there's ginger, cumin, turmeric, there's black pepper and cinnamon in there. So I've just obviously put them out. So they're all going to go in one go. But every single one of the ginger and turmeric, obviously I haven't milled, but the other spices, I mill my own. And all you do is you buy the whole spices, you throw them in. There's actually a chop function. So you can go in and say, I want to chop herbs. You weigh it and it tells you and it sets for you. That's a great function. Okay, so I know that all goes in together. So as I said, there's the ones that we've done. Chicken stock, it asks for a teaspoon. I've done 2 because it also asks for a teaspoon of salt. So instead of salt, I always think that it's better to have the flavour of the stock. I think it makes sense for me. So that's the salt taken component. The pepper went in and the boiling water. Not sure why. 50 grams of water. And so I have beagles and Fred likes to be my sous chef and sometimes he plonks himself in the wrong spot if you see me doing funny things. And raisins. Ooh. Someone ate the raisins. I'll get some more. I'll pop the raisins in a little bit because it's not going to affect anything. It's not getting chopped. And the apricots, where have they all gone?
Fred ate them.
There they are. raisins and apricots together. I hid them. And pitted green olives. It said 10, but these were minuscule, so I've just put more. And again, it's personal preference. If you want them, it's a Moroccan thing is to have olives and those things. If you like them, put them in. If you don't, take them out or put more. Same with chili.
So I would not.
Those things. Go.
I would not be having olives.
Right. And I would be adding chili. So
yeah,
there we go. I'll just get the chicken out of the fridge.
Yep.
Is the chicken stock as salty as the vegetable stock if you make it yourself?
It is salty because the salt's there.
Preserves it.
And you only use a tiny little a small amount. So you can cut the salt down, but it won't last as long.
Yeah.
And that's why when it said salt, whenever it says salt in a recipe, I never put more salt. I either use stock and just leave the salt or put a bit extra, whatever I'm doing. So that was the cake, that little beefy thing.
Oh,
so I just get it out, ready to move. Okay, so there's the cake. Now, this side doesn't have to be pretty because it turns out, and Lisa will show you that. There's the sensor. So that's how the sensor sits on there, and that's measured the cake. It'll cook it perfectly. There's no needing to stop and set the skewer and those things. I've made 3 or 4 things now, and I cannot believe how amazing the sensor is. So we'll just leave that for a little bit, and I'll tip it out for the end. Lisa will have a turn in a moment. Okay, so the chicken goes in, 1 kilo of chicken. So it's a really big dish.
Big dish.
So there'll be leftovers in our house. So that's just going to keep beeping at me until I tell it that it's okay, I've taken it off the heat. And the herbs, said half. And now we're going to cook that up for a little bit. It's got the simming basket. I'm going to grab that, and it's going to go for 13 minutes. Now, it's on reverse speed 1, and it's going to do a second cook, so it's going to be enough time for the chicken. It's quite a thick dish as well. It's not a runny sauce. And over to you, Lise.
Yay! So I have also put my dishes in my week, and I also used my shopping list to build up, to get all my stuff out and go shopping. So I'm doing the bundt, the tahini, and then the beetroot hummus. So let's start with the bundt. I've already done a couple of the steps. Every recipe has a picture at the start, picture at the end. You've got all the instructions there like Lisa showed you. I have preheated my oven. Oh, come on this side. I have greased my bundt tin, and I put so you put your sesame seeds in, grease the tin, put your sesame seeds around, and I've set up my sensor in my bowl so that's ready to go. And actually, this one's got a little video that shows you how to do the grease and do the bundt tin. So 130 grams of apricots. This one's really fruity. 120 of dried figs. And then insert measuring cup. Next 5 seconds. Speed 8, it doesn't let me go. That's very quick. Transfer into a bowl and set aside. We'll do that, and I'll show you. There's that. I might have just broken over 2. Get a bring the bowl out. There we go. So like Lisa said, you just scrape around, gets it all out, but I don't need to get every little skerrick out because I'm going to pop that back in. That back on. Pitted dates. Right here. And then chop that as well. So 4 seconds, feed 6. Super quick. Oh, almond and fruit mixture. Have I missed a step?
Which step?
Well, it says almond and fruit mixture.
Isn't
Oh,
the beginning?
yes, 100 grams of blanched almonds. That's all right. We'll just chuck it in and chop it.
That's right.
Yes. And then I'll go to the stop that I'm at. Yep, dates. So what happens when you're short is then...
Yes. Difficult.
Yes. I'm going to put it all in a big bowl.
So this is like a well, it's like a fruit cake. It looks to be like a fruit cake, but it's a little bit more. I've got I made it yesterday to practice, and I had to feed it to all my neighbours because I knew we were doing another one. It's very heavy. It's got a little bit of like a bready texture with the fruit, and of course apricots and things. It's different fruit to a full fruit cake. So it's quite a different cake, and we'll definitely make it again. Probably, I'm thinking that you could definitely freeze parts of it, and when it's in the bundt, you can cut it in nice little slices, so you can freeze it. The other thing I thought of was
It looked awesome.
Yeah, the other thing I thought of is we now have little baby bundt tins, so you could make it in the baby bundts, but you'd probably need to halve it to make it in the little
in the bundt. Yeah. So I've just put in my butter and some white sugar.
And is it something that you
Sugar.
put butter on, Lisa, or is it just
Well,
eaten on its own?
Yesterday, I just ate it by itself. Today I had a little slice and I thought, yeah, I could put butter on it for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, you saw the size of it. It's
Massive.
There's photos of some of the steps on my Facebook page. Today I just put a little spiel about it. So, because I never would have cooked it if we didn't decide to do this dish. I never would have gone what other things are in the Moroccan world. And it'll definitely be on the repertoire.
I'm really enjoying the open house on the Zooms because I'm just scrolling through a cookie dough to try different things.
Yeah,
it's a good challenge.
Yeah, we're open to themes too. If anyone wants to set us a theme challenge, we will oblige and come up with some sort of recipes, because we know we can find them on Cookie Do. The only thing we have is to make sure that we manage the time, because we don't want to go too long. Yeah. That's our only restriction. So you can see this has got 6 minutes. Lisa's done.
That's good.
Yep, so that's the melted butter
and sugar.
Yeah.
I'm actually very interested on the session you do on Cookadoo, because I don't think I'm using it to its best capabilities.
Yeah, great. Okay. So
I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do that. In the July 2, we'll make one of those a cookie do. We'll do a dish as well, but we'll share screen and we'll go right around the how to use it, what to do, and of course take questions as well. So we'll definitely have that in the July. We've already planned the next one, so it'll be one of the July ones.
Yeah. It's the sourcing recipes from all over the world. I just don't think I'm really using efficiently.
Okay. Well, I can have a chat to you about that anyway as well, because it could be your filters. So I'll give you a buzz and we can
probably user error.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. All right.
So I've put in 5 eggs and 150 grams of yogurt. Then the reserved almond and fruit mixture.
Was that fried eggs?
5 eggs, sorry.
Oh, 5 eggs.
5 eggs, yeah. I know, I don't enunciate as well.
That makes sense.
Yes. There's our fruit mixture. Then pop our lids back on. And it's 5 seconds, reverse, speed 3.
So if you're living in Victoria, 5 eggs is probably not what you want at the moment.
It's a problem. It's a bit like COVID. In New Zealand, we couldn't get eggs.
Yeah.
Not at all. Or no one could get baker's flour because everyone was baking, and we did
baking.
And we did all these online because we were completely locked down, and we cooked stuff, and then everyone was buying all the baker's flour, and it was interesting.
So I've popped in 80 grams of sesame seeds, and then I've got the plain flour, but I've put all my spices in it at the same time. So it's plain flour, cardamom, allspice, salt, baking powder. And then it says, insert your spatula through the hole in the lid. It actually has a little video to show you how to do that. And it's just to help you help mix. And so speed 4 for 30 seconds. It just helps it. You're helping it mix. I'm putting the spatula in. 10 more seconds. These are good. Looking forward to this. There we go. And then transfer into our prepared tin. Lift up.
And while Lisa's doing that, I'll just show you the yogurt. So last night I got home at 9 o'clock from a demo with some beautiful people, and we'd run out of yogurt, and I knew I had to make the cake. And so I just made my yogurt, and it took me 5 minutes to get the mix together. Then I put them in the little jars in my Varoma, and I used the fermentation mode. So for 10 hours overnight, 7 o'clock this morning, it beeped. One of us had to get up, and put it straight in the fridge, and we could eat it for breakfast. And I've made 8 jars out of that. But you can also put a thermoserver, a 2-litre thermoserver, in the bowl and make a big container of it. So it makes a litre of yogurt.
Oh, this is huge.
Yeah. So push it right out, because I made a bit. Mine isn't. The bottom of mine yesterday was flatter. I think you need to push it right out to the sides of the tin, and then you've got to flatten it around and make sure it's in the tin. And the other thing I think is just that, says she, having made it twice, make sure the oven is at the 180 for 10 minutes. Even with the sensor, I just timed 10 minutes and turned it down. The sensor will work out how long to cook it for.
Okay, yeah.
But I think mine might have been a little hot today, so that's why it's gone a little bit different. So, and then, just leave it. And that's why the sensor, it's just amazing. So mine's just cooling. I've just taken it out of the tin, and that's just cooling down. And Lisa's just finishing that. So this has got 43 seconds to go, and then we're going to move on. We add the couscous. So I've got these are our new bunts, and they're called bunts obviously because they're the same as the other ones. But with these, the aluminium is really light, so the other tins are super heavy. They're all aluminium, but these are just super heavy. In fact, when you buy them or get them sent, I thought they forgot to put my order in. The box was so light when I picked it up from the post. So we're going to use that one.
Can I just do the flick?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'll just show you. Yep. So we've still got a little bit of batter there around our blades. I'm just going to pop it in. Pop the lid back on and then do the flick. So what you want to do, especially when you've got an amazing dip or bread or something like that. So I'm just going to come out of my recipe. I'm going to dial it straight up to 10 for like a second. And then I'll show you, it gets everything off the blades because you don't want to waste really good food. And it also helps you getting the bowl clean. To see how it's all come off the blades, and then I'll just be able to scrape it off easier.
And Lisa, do you have to do that on a special setting? You called it flick.
No, it's just the name of it's flicking it off the blades, and I just dial it up to 10.
Right.
Or you could use your
You could use turbo if you wanted.
turbo. That
Yep.
I'm thinking, what is the word? What's the word?
And sometimes when I do it, I flick it exactly like Lisa did, and then hit the reverse. Don't turn it off, and then hit the reverse as well, so it goes both ways, especially if it's something heavier. So it'll flick one way, and then it'll flick the other way, and you get it all off.
Yeah.
And even though we've got pre-clean these days to, wash it after, it just seems a shame to waste it, particularly you get heaps more out. So Lisa's putting the probe in now. So I'll grab mine. It's not too hot. So here's the probe. So you can see mine was in about that far. And this little thing hooks it on to the tin that you're cooking. I've used this with bread, and my bread's never been that perfect, and I make bread a lot. So you just put it on the side of your tin, and then you stick that into the bread or cake or whatever. And then Lisa's going to show you how you set it.
So there's a little app. Hang on. I'll just turn my Bluetooth back on.
You can do it on your machine.
Yep. Oh, I've done that, but it says set the target temperature.
Yeah, and then
there we go.
Tells you,
there we go.
New trick.
There we go. So cake. Yes, I've been doing it on my app. Cake. Rich cakes and pound cakes, you reckon?
Yeah, it is. The second one.
Yep. So 99 degrees, and hit send. I've inserted the probe. Okay, and away we go.
So what does that then do?
So that you go.
Yep. Okay. So that the sensor is sensing the internal temperature of the cake.
Yep.
And for a dry for a fruit heavier cake, 99 degrees internal temperature is the best temperature to remove it from the oven.
Right. And what if it's not getting that temperature? What if it's too high or too low? What happens?
It's going to tell me what the temperature is on the screen.
So
Lisa's screen is there.
Will it alert you on your phone or your
So
Thermomix?
see on my screen, I'm not sure why. Clean profile and moving grease. Okay. All right. So I'm going to time something. I'm going to put a cake in or use my timer, which is on the little arrow at the top. So you should be able to see it on the other screen there. Yep. And then I go to the sensor and I say, I'm going to set the temperature, and it gives me all the options of what I want to do. So I might want to do a roast beef, or I might want to do, a lamb, or I might make bread, or you can even manually set it. I don't know how to do that. And then you just choose that you're going to make a cake, and it gives you basic and fresh fruit cakes. So they're just normal cakes, and then rich cakes and pound cakes. So this is definitely one of those. And you choose that. And so my probe's still working. It's linked in. So it thinks that it's got to go to 99. I'm not sure. I'll stick it in and see. It might register something.
Yeah, what temperature it is. Yeah.
It might register something. I'm not sure.
Because I'm just thinking, what otherwise, what is the advantage of having a sensor? Because you think you know what your oven's doing, but
Yes.
is it going to tell you if it's not doing that? Is it going to alert you?
It's going to, what it'll do is adjust the time. So, so this says it's up to 70. So my cake at the moment is 7. It's going up more because it's sitting in there. So my cake is at 74. So depending on the oven and all the different, components of all those sorts of things and the tin and everything, it will then work out. And when it hits 99, it will beat like mine did. It'll start out, it'll just say 60 minutes because it's got to work it out.
Yeah.
So it takes a while to work it out. And then eventually the time kicks in. And I make bread every few weeks, and I make 3 loaves of the easy everyday white. And it's always good, but I'm always like tapping and working it out. I used to probe once, and both of us were like, "Whoa, this bread's perfect. It's lighter. Whatever it does." And when it came on, I was like, "That's going to cook for, I normally cook it for 25 minutes. It's going to cook for, says an hour." I panicked, but I trusted it because I've got a meter plus, so I've always used it in the meat. So we just have to basically just trust it because it works. And it's designed by Vorwerk, so that is always a tick when we do those things.
And it's good with different ovens.
Sorry, Lisa. Instead of setting my timer on the oven, I wouldn't do that. I would just go by the sensor and the Thermomix.
Yep, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. The first time I cooked a cake with it, I set my timer and I got my skewer at the exact time that the cake set, and it was the new little baby tins. And when I put it in, it came out wet, but the sensor was saying, no, it's not ready. And I just kept testing, and it wasn't ready. And again, I thought, oh, it's going to be overcooked. And it was perfect. So whatever the magicians made, they did a great job. Yeah. Okay, I'll just get this one on and take the probe out. So we'll go back. So I've just, it's gone straight back to where I was. So if I'm using the little arrow here, I can now use it as a timer, and that can just be going if I want to time something that I'm either cooking or get the washing out or whatever. You can set your timer on your Thermomix. You can now do your sensor the same way, and you can still cook while it's going. So I am up to placing the Varoma dish on top, and I've already put my couscous. So I've got the Varoma bundt, the 2 litre. Is that 2 litres? Is that that's the small one? There's a big one and a little one.
Yeah, the 2 litres, the big one.
Bah.
So I will do a handy hint. When the Thermomix is chiming, if you want to stop the chiming, you can actually press the screen, press next, or press the button to stop it chiming.
You can't change its chiming though, can you?
Yes, you can. You can change the volume, the length of time, and the type of chime. So you have the standard, in the TM6, you have the standard chime, but then you can change it to digital, piano, guitar, all sorts of different ones.
And that's in your settings?
Yes, yeah. So volume, length of time, and
screen
and style of, Yep.
So I've got my screen set darker for this because it shows up better on this, but then tomorrow I'll make it brighter again. So that's one of the settings. Okay, I put the oil in. I've got the big one. Okay, so big,
That's
little
it.
one, big one. Using big one. So I need 300. These are great. These are insulated jugs, so you can keep your gravies or sauces. You can keep it cold as well. And so they're great for something like this for us. Wait.
Do you have to have that tin to be able to cook couscous in your varoma?
You do.
Do you?
Um,
I thought I'd done couscous in my
no, you
Thermomix
can cook
without that
normal
tin.
couscous.
Oh, but not
Cook,
the pearl.
normal couscous in your varoma on your baking paper. But if
Yeah.
you want to do your rices and these sorts of things, that's what we've brought these out for. How long
Right.
do these hold? 500?
Something like that. Yeah.
I didn't set my scales, so I'm pretty sure I'm close. And so I put the salt in before, and then that's it. We just put it on and turn it on.
Whoa. Yeah, we usually have we got into having pearl couscous with our beef stroganoff.
Right.
Oh, so yummy.
Hmm.
So yummy. That was pre-bumped in though, so I'll have to see how I can work around that. So I'm now going to make the tahini, so then I can make the hummus.
Nice.
So start cooking. What I've already done is I've already put 200 grams of sesame seeds in, and I've cooked it for the 8 minutes, and I've let it cool down. Just to prove.
Oh,
Yep. So I've cooked them a little bit, and then insert measuring cup. So it's 20 seconds, speed 10, just to blitz up our a few seeds. And I can hear it thickening up. Oh, and now it's just, yep. So scrape down the sides. I'll show you. So it's turned very into a powder. Scrape down the sides. Then I need to put in grapeseed oil and sea salt. So I've already done that. Put the salt in the oil. So a pinch as well is what you think it is, what you decide a pinch is. It could be one of the Greek consultants is like, it's 3 fingers and your thumb. And then somebody else was saying it's 2 fingers and your thumb. I'm like, okay. Whatever works for you.
I have noticed lately that the celebrity chefs seem to be putting a lot of salt in everything. It's quite remarkable, really.
Yeah, because we were always told salt is evil.
Yeah.
But
I think
can you hear that?
the jury's a bit out, but we don't give
Yes.
dietary
No.
we're not
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Talk to your GP
Yeah. Good advice.
or your heart specialist.
Yeah. I used to eat handfuls of salt as a child.
Wow.
And I can remember my mum taking me to our GP and saying, you know, that I was doing this. Oh, don't worry, it's okay. But, you know, probably wasn't really.
Yeah, handfuls I'm not quite sure on.
And I still love salt.
Teaspoon here and there. And there are certain things you've got to put salt in.
Oh, absolutely.
Like your bread dough. Otherwise, it's going to taste manky. So insert measuring cup again. Do another 10 seconds at speed 9.
I was going to ask, is there enough information about bread for you to do a session on bread making one evening?
Yep.
Because I would love that. I haven't tried it yet,
Oh, Kerry,
but I really want to.
we could just have a cook along. I can come over and we'll make bread. But there's
well,
heaps
yeah.
of people that know more than me, but we can definitely do some bready type stuff for sure.
I've
Yeah,
got
and
a
I was hoping to do a home open at the same time with bread as well.
Yeah, we're just juggling all sorts of things around at the moment just for change. So any ideas are most welcome. Yeah, many ideas are welcome.
Well, keep it in mind, and if I see one in Bibra Lake on bread, I might have to come up.
Yeah. So place into the refrigerator until use. So I'm going to use that in a minute. So I've just got my other bowl out to make the hummus, the beetroot hummus. So the beetroot hummus has falafel as well. So I'll show you, even though, so you've got the ingredients as well. Beetroot hummus is broken down and falafel. But if you can see that I've highlighted a step, if you want to make just the falafel, you can just go down to the step where it starts, press on it, and it will jump to that step. You don't need to go next through the recipe to get to where you want to be. You can start anywhere within a recipe that you like. But luckily, the hummus is at the start of the recipe. So no requirement to jump. So 1 garlic clove. Insert. And then next, so 3 seconds, speed 7. Then scrape down the sides. So you've got the 6, Kerry?
Yeah.
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 Awesome. Oh, yeah, because we're talking about cookie dough, aren't we? All right. So 400 grams of chickpeas. Now, you can always do your own if you've got a pack of chickpeas in the dried chickpeas in the cupboard.
But they're canned ones you've used?
Yes. Yeah. I don't have time. So lemon juice, 50 grams. So I used fresh lemons that I had. But it's up to you. There's no Thermomix police. You can, if you've got a packet of something in the cupboard, use it. And then make fresh, if you've got tandoori paste in the cupboard already, use that and then make your own after that. Because we're all about no waste as well.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. So a tablespoon. Because a lot of people who buy Thermomixes who haven't had them before have a lot of the packet stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gradually.
Yeah.
So
and then you'll find that you make the fresh tandoori paste and you're like, oh my God, how did I use the jarred stuff for so long?
So this is ready, and just a reminder of safety when you take your varoma. So always lift the lid away from you so that the steam goes away and you don't have a kind of a steam facial. And then lift the dish up and then pop it down on top. So you can pick it up and everything's there, no mess on the bench. Nice and safe. And there's the couscous.
Ooh. Was it that quick?
Yeah, 7 minutes, the couscous. And the chicken, I'll pour out while you plonk along.
Yep, no worries. So then our raw beetroot, so it's half to 1 raw beetroot, so whatever works for you, whatever you've got in the fridge or the cupboard. So then we've got our olive oil plus cumin, water, salt as well. Pop that in. I use my spatula for everything. It's just learning the technique. and practicing. All right, so 10 seconds at speed 5. Fill it up. Now, as well with the sticks, when you're following cookie dough, you can have a look, and if something's not chopped enough for you, because everybody's got their own taste, you go back and do it again. You've still got control of the recipe. So there's our beetroot hummus. I'm just gonna chop it. I'm gonna scrape down and then chop it for another couple of seconds. That's great. Go back. So it even says here, for a long time if necessary, until you get the desired consistency. So I'm just going to press stop because I wanted to do it again, but not that long. There we go. So there's
beautiful.
It's gorgeous. And so put it in a bowl and then put a pinch of paprika on top.
There's a couple of beetroot hummus, but that one, just look for the one with the what are they called?
With the falafel.
Yeah, because that's quite a good one. But there are other ones where you actually mill walnuts and all sorts of different things. So that, again, that's the beauty of Cookie Do. Google beetroot hummus and different ones will come up, and then you find the one that you like or adapt them as well. So it's awesome. So there is the chicken.
Oh, that looks great.
Yeah, it smells good. The chicken broke down a little bit more. I think the speed, I'll go back and check. It's broken down a little bit more, even though it was thighs. So you can always put the butterfly in when you're doing anything, particularly with chicken breast. If you put the butterfly into the bowl with your chicken, it will help it stop it shredding as it go around, particularly for breast. But it still looks great. And the colours there, obviously the apricots are spread around and all underneath, etc. So that's that one. The couscous is just sitting, but I showed it to you. The couscous, it just says to sit for another 5 minutes. So basically it cooks and then it absorbs a little bit more heat. And I will get the cake.
Awesome. And my cake still has. It says it's at 40. Still got, it's probably catching up now.
Did you turn the oven down?
Yeah.
All right. So there's the cake.
Wow.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
How groovy is that?
I'm pretty happy with that.
Wow.
I can do pretty because I'm usually quite rustic is my name. I'm pretty happy with that. I'll cut into it and show you a piece.
Yeah, it's quite a masterpiece.
I know. So I'll cut a big one. You don't need, it says it serves 16 and you definitely don't need a big piece. So technically I've kind of measured it out. That would be two serves there.
Wow.
So you can see the texture.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's cakey, but today it's a little bit, I'll go and get a piece from today, from yesterday. So today it's a little bit bready. As you said, Kerry, definitely you could put butter on it the second day.
Yeah.
Or heat it up.
And warm too. Yeah.
Oh, it's very good. It's a winner. So we've done it.
Excellent.
Again. So that's great. So just for people watching, just a reminder of a couple of things that are on offer because they end next week. We have if you're purchasing a TM6 from scratch, it's the normal TM6. price, plus for $29 you get a second bowl. So you could see us juggling bowls today. So it's a very handy extra piece, and normally it's $3.95. So it's something that doesn't come off up as a price like that very often. So if you're kind of on the edge, it's a good time to actually think about it and maybe talk to your consultant. The other one that we have on is the TM5 Trader. We're calling it the TM5 Trade No Trade because you don't have to send it back. So you can trade your TM5 in for $300 discount, and you receive a bowl, and you can either keep, you can return it. So if it's broken, just send it back, or you can gift it to someone else. And that offer also is ending next week. So something for some of you that might be watching to consider. I've got a little note here just so we don't miss anything. Of course, a reminder that when you host, there's amazing, beautiful host rewards available to you. It's you plus 2 people, because we all cook and have a cook along and have fun. It's not designed to, have lots and lots of people. That's why we do classes and open houses and things for the lots of people. So our next virtual is in 2 weeks, which is something like the 24th, I think. So that'll be our next virtual. And also just a reminder, we mentioned, or maybe before we started recording, we are now doing open houses and we're moving them around. The next one, we've got one in Darula, which is where I live, and also the next one we've done Bibra Lake, and we are doing, what's it called, Liz?
South Yunderup.
South Yunderup.
South Yunderup.
So we've got South Yunderup on the 6th, and Darula on the 14th. They're the next 2, and we'll be keeping those rolling as well as a way. It's kind of like a fun little class. We do lots of different dishes, 3 or 4, and you can chat and learn. You can bring people with you if you want, and bring owners, non-owners. It doesn't matter. It's just about us sharing and learning, and we try different dishes as well, which is lots of fun for us. So they are the little things that are on offer for you. If you've got all the way through this video, that you can have a little think about. So on that note, we thank you very much for coming. I will be stopping the recording, and Kerry, who is on, we can hang and have a little chat. But we'll stop the recording, Lise, unless you've got some extra little bits. Oh, no, good.
Oh, well, the host reward at the moment, if you have a TM5, the extra host reward at the moment is to add a cook key as well. So if you're going to keep your TM5 whilst you're trading up or sell it, the cook key is a fantastic addition to your TM5.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. All right. As I said, thanks a lot, everybody, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, because it doesn't matter who's here. Yes. We know you're all jumping on to YouTube. Anyone that's registered, thank you very much. You'll get a personal invite to the link for tonight. So thank you.